You're listening to Why the First Woman Was Made of Wood, written and told by Purdy Brock Jenkins. This recording was made for listeners on YouTube Music as well as social media networks around the world. It's a brand new folktale from the Purdyville Library. So go on and get comfortable. Grab a snack or 7. After all, 7 snacks are better than 1 or 3. Put your feet up and relax. A good book is always better with a good snack. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Clara was the kind of girl who asked questions after the answer had already been given. Not to be difficult, just because she wanted to understand things all the way down. Like why people said, God made woman from a rib. Was it a big rib? Whose rib? And why not something softer, like a feather, or something stronger, like a shell? One evening, while she was sitting in her grandpa's shed, which smelled like nails and old stories, she asked out loud, "Why wasn't the first woman made of wood?" Her grandpa paused, looked up from whatever he wasn't fixing, and said, "Oh, sweetheart, she was." Then he went back to sanding a piece of nothing. That was all he said, but Clara couldn't let it go. The next morning, she told the story to her best friend Olive. Olive had a loose tooth and always believed things the moment before you said them. They sat cross-legged in the dirt behind the school, digging little holes and pretending they were caves. "My grandpa said the first woman was made of wood," Clara told her. "Was she tall?" "I don't know." "Did she have bark for skin?" "I hope not." Olive nodded, then stuck a stick in the ground and said, "This is her now." They stared at the stick. It didn't say anything. But that didn't mean it wasn't true. That night, Clara couldn't sleep. She kept picturing a wooden woman walking through a forest, not creaking, just cracking, just moving, like a tree that forgot to be still. In the morning, Clara wrote a note. "Dear first woman, if you're real, could you tell me why you were made of wood? Also, are you lonely?" She folded it small and tucked it in the hollow of the oldest tree she knew, the one behind the fence near the baseball field, with roots that looked like fingers trying to remember something. Then she waited. The note was still there the next day, but the day after, it was gone. And in its place was a small wooden carving. Just a shape, really. Something between a heart and a leaf. It smelled like time. Clara didn't tell anyone. She just held it in her pocket all day and thought quiet thoughts. That night, she dreamed of a woman made of oak. She was kind and silent and standing in a field while the wind ran its fingers through her hair, which was not hair at all, but thin slivers of polished grain. She didn't speak, but Clara knew what she meant. "I was made of wood because love is hard to carry." And when Clara woke up, she understood. Not everything, just enough to know that some people are built out of bark before they can be held. Clara didn't tell anyone about the carving for a long time, not because she was afraid, just because it felt like something you don't explain out loud. She kept it in her pocket for days, taking it out only when she was alone. Sometimes she pressed it to her cheek. Sometimes she held it in both hands, like it might hum if she listened hard enough. It never did. But that didn't mean it wasn't saying something. At recess, Clara watched people the way other kids watched clouds. She noticed who shared snacks and who gave crumbs, who pushed and who apologized after, who looked at the ground when they laughed, and who laughed like they didn't know how to stop. And slowly, quietly, Clara started to see it. Wooden girls. Not literally. Not bark and twigs. But girls who held themselves stiff, like they were bracing for wind that hadn't come yet. Girls who didn't raise their hands, even when they knew the answer. Girls who nodded instead of crying. Clara wondered if they had carvings too, or just stories they hadn't been given permission to say. One afternoon, Olive noticed the shape in Clara's pocket and asked, "What is that?" Clara hesitated. Then she said, It's from the first woman. Olive blinked. The one made of wood? Yeah. What's it mean? Clara didn't answer right away. Then she said, I think it means she wasn't made to be soft. Not at first. Because the world wasn't ready for soft things. Olive nodded like she understood. But then she asked, So when did it get ready? That question stuck. That night, Clara sat at the kitchen table while her mom folded laundry in tired shapes and her little brother drummed a spoon against the wall. She wanted to ask her mom something. She wasn't sure what. So instead she said, Do you think it's easy to love someone who's made of wood? Her mom looked up, blinked slowly, then said, Well, depends on who's doing the loving. The next morning, Clara left the carving on the bench outside school. She didn't tape a note to it. She didn't tell Olive. She just set it down, like a question left behind for someone else to find, and walked away a little taller. Clara didn't look for the carving the next day. She already knew it would be gone. Not stolen, not taken, just found. And that was enough. That week she started carving her own shapes out of soap bars. It wasn't the same, but it helped. She made lopsided hearts, tiny leaves, half a moon. She left them in odd places. Behind books at the library, inside coat pockets at church, once on the seat of a grocery cart. No one ever said anything, but Clara liked to imagine someone feeling them with their fingers and not knowing why they didn't throw them away. She liked imagining people keeping quiet about things that mattered. One afternoon, while walking home, Clara saw a girl standing alone by the fence near the baseball field. She was new, smaller than Clara. Her coat was too big and her backpack hung crooked. Clara stopped, then walked over and said, Do you want to see something strange? The girl blinked, then nodded. Clara led her to the tree with the hollow. She didn't put anything in it. She just touched the bark with her palm and said, This is where I asked the question. The girl didn't ask what the question was, but she stayed there for a while, hands at her sides, not saying anything. And that felt like an answer. That night, Clara wrote in her notebook. She didn't always write full sentences, just thoughts that might one day become stories. The first woman was made of wood, she wrote, because people didn't know how to be gentle with skin. But one day, someone held her without asking her to bend, and that's when she turned soft. Not weak, just soft, like something ready to grow. Clara folded the page, tore it from the spiral, and tucked it into the hollow of the same tree, where the first letter had gone. She didn't wait for an answer this time. She just walked home slowly, hands in her pockets, thinking quiet thoughts that felt a little less heavy than before. And if the wind seemed to whisper her name as she turned the corner, well, maybe that was just the trees remembering. That's all for now. If the story left something with you, keep it. Let it ride around in your thoughts for a while. These tales weren't meant to explain the world, just to notice it a little more kindly. And if you enjoyed being here, well, I'll be back with more stories, more questions dressed up like answers. Till then, take care of yourself and take care of the wooden women. If this made you smile or feel something fuzzy and wonderful, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Also give me a comment. What ideas do you have for the next story? I'll keep telling stories if you keep listening. This has been Purdy Brock Jenkins, talking slow about things that move fast. I hope you enjoyed the story. It was a very good story. I especially like the part where Clara carved little shapes out of soap bars. It was a very fun craft to do, but also very soapy. Remember for next time that we need more snacks. A good book is always better with a good snack. See you next time, and have a Sleepy Joe night. End of story.